I don't know if you heard it, my tummy screamed too.
Oh my
tummy went,
goodness.
Hi.
Hi. It's me.
It's
Abby.
you again.
I'm back.
Welcome
Spice,
back.
whatever you want to call me.
I love having you here.
Thanks. I love being here.
Yeah.
Today we are talking about conspiracy theories.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I'm excited. We've also, off the podcast, we were talking about conspiracies for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
So.
Now, obviously we weren't doing our research alongside it, but we could have a real long chats about conspiracies and different theories and stuff. So, yeah, definitely time to get into it a little bit. Obviously there's tons and different types of conspiracies. So if you like these sort of things, we can always do another one, maybe on more the scary side.
Yeah.
However, these are just more generalized things. Yeah.
And I didn't realize until you actually brought it up. Mine are more political. So it's going to probably be blatantly obvious what my thoughts are in the political world right now.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these conspiracies, I'm like, you'll find out. Don't worry.
I'm Kate.
And I'm Jane, and this is Creeps and Coffee.
A show where we talk about the dark parts of the world around us.
Cryptids, conspiracies, things that go bump in the night.
And the crimes behind the scariest creatures of all, humans.
Join us as we take a look at the stories sure to give you the creeps.
Pull up a seat, grab a coffee,
and let's have a chat.
Do you want me to hit you with my first one? That I'm ready to...
That you're ready to
Honestly, I'm ready to just debunk and argue. I think we're on the same side, but
yeah,
I just feel the need to be passionate about something.
Oh, it's great to be passionate about something.
So, the first quote-unquote conspiracy theory is that Hollywood is turning children gay.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I've heard that one.
Yeah, so I'll elaborate.
Okay.
So... It's been said by a lot of right-wing enthusiasts that Hollywood's agenda is very liberal, and they are essentially, they have a gay agenda where they want to promote gayness and transness to children, and right-wing enthusiasts think that this is a way to undermine Christian values, and they think it's demonic and wrong.
Now, not that I agree with those statements. I will say, though, starting out, I'm not that surprised, because right-wing was built off of religion and Christianity, which I don't agree with. I don't think politics should have anything to do with religion. However, unfortunately, for one specific sector, it was literally built upon religious values and focused on that.
Yep.
So I think that already is, when you hear the majority of the people saying this are all from the same group.
Maybe take that into consideration.
Yeah, maybe just food for thought for even the listeners, when you hear some of these theories, just, we are trying to figure out who thinks this, or who mainly thinks this. What's the main problem area?
The who and the why, and then you usually see there's a relation between the two.
Which, before you even go into the theory directly, I definitely think it has to do with just people's comfortability, and I don't think it's right.
Yeah.
But not that it's showing more gayness, whatever you want to call it, to children. It's just the fact that more companies are being called out for the fact that they're not being inclusive.
Yeah.
And, honestly, our real world, especially what we've come to today, is supposed to be inclusive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even when you go into the mall, you go and do whatever your basic errands, I at least feel like it's pretty inclusive.
There's so many different people of different races, genders, ethnicities. It's
Yes, and tons of different beliefs. Yeah, like you said, even different religions. And it's kind of one of those things. It's it's just... I don't think it's them shoving it in their face. I think it's media actually showing what life has become, especially mainly North America, obviously, compared to other places. North America is the main one. That's sort of become a sort of hub.
Yeah.
For a bunch of things, so I don't know. I think that's partly, like, just on, like, not playing devil's advocate, but just sort of maybe where the conspiracy came from was that just more companies are showing it, so therefore they think it's wrong, and it's like, well, more companies are showing it because it needs to be shown and it's a part of our day-to-day.
And, like, they're not trying to promote it, they're showing it more because we know more.
Yeah.
You know, there aren't many, like, movies from 50 years ago about gay people because it wasn't as accepted back then.
Yeah.
They didn't know that there was a word for being gay.
You could get killed for saying you were gay.
Yeah, so shocker they didn't say it.
Yeah.
And it's like, that doesn't mean they weren't there, it just means that there wasn't any representation for it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I think. And it would make sense that the conspiracy's built off of... It's the same thing with frickin' smoking. Smoking used to be seen as a perfectly normal thing. You could even do it on aircrafts in every single place you went. And nowadays, somebody sees you smoking, not only on at least Canadian packaging, I know American doesn't, but Canadian packaging, we even have, like, the causes and harms. And even people will sometimes tell you, oh, don't smoke, it'll kill you. But let's take it back 40 years, bub.
Yeah.
Smoking,
it will help you lose weight.
Yes, like, you should smoke. It's like, of course, those people were upset too, guaranteed, when the movement was coming in that smoking wasn't healthy and you couldn't do it indoors and you couldn't do all that. There was a whole group of people, similar to this sort of group, where they're upset and they're like, well, they're saying this and they're encouraging this. It's like they're encouraging us not to have fun. They're encouraging us not to this. And guess what? If you truly do believe that, then don't watch the shit. If it has something you don't like, don't frickin' watch it. Guess what? I don't watch every single horror movie that comes out because sometimes they're too much or I don't want to do it. So I make the decision that I have as a human being to just not watch it. Because that doesn't mean somebody didn't put tons of effort into that film. That doesn't mean they didn't write an entire story. They didn't do all that stuff. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
And just because a whole politics side is very into religious bases being in their politics, it's like, okay, well, you can't just claim that anything that goes against you is Satan.
Yes, I can.
It's like, it's called the world, which means there's multiple different, even just like geographically, you know what I mean? Like even weather, that's going to base half of the things you do because it's going to prevent you from certain things, or it's going to be warmer summers, so then you're going to have to adapt.
And that was a point I literally just wrote down. You will get left behind.
Yeah.
If you stay closed-minded and you say, oh, like, if there's gay people in this movie, we're not watching this movie. I'm not letting my kids watch this movie. Congrats, you're in the minority. You are going to get left behind as the world progresses in the next 300 years, and people are going to go, what? People thought being gay was wrong? People were burned at the stake? People were killed for this?
Well, that's what I'm hoping, like, especially because where we're getting at.
The way we think about segregation now, we're like, people did that?
Right?
And it's like, yeah, people were awful 20, 30, 40 years ago. And so I just think...
And the tough calls had to be made.
You just need to open your mind and not hate people for literally just living.
That's the thing, is don't hate just because it's not, like...
what you know.
It's not just what you know, but not what you enjoy. Like, even when you think about food. Yeah. You know, I have my own personalized palate.
Yeah. I don't eat meat, but I don't scorn people who do.
Yeah.
Like, I just personally don't want it. Am I offended that you're eating meat? No.
Like, I know some people who don't like pickles, right? I feel like this is a common thing. You're either a yes to a pickle or a no to a pickle. But just because somebody's a no pickle person, that doesn't make them any less of me.
Yeah.
Or that doesn't make them any less of a person just because I do like pickles.
Yeah.
You know, it's individuality. And guess what? You guys are kind of in your own little sector that's only you. Because then when the rest of the world looks out, we kind of, all of us see it. And then it's like, okay, guys.
Who's the problem?
Well, and it's like, if you want to believe those things, I'm not putting it past that person, because same could be said vice versa on both sides. I should be able to believe what I believe. Go for it, honey. But it becomes a problem when you start degrading another group entirely, or like an individualist work of somebody just because it doesn't align with you. Like, that's where there's a problem. You have to understand it's trying to, you saying that is honestly trying to push, because of where your political stance is and because that political bubble is built upon religion, you're pushing religion onto everybody else. Which, guess what? We have tons of religions all around the world. They've all cultivated here, and that doesn't mean they should be adjusting to whoever. If you want to be Muslim, you can be Muslim. You want to be Jewish, you can be Jewish. You want to be Christian, you want to be Catholic, you want to be an atheist?
Go for it.
Go for it. It's your belief. But that's just it. If you want people to respect your own belief, you can't be shitting on theirs.
Yeah, respect theirs.
Yeah. Or else you literally can honestly never deserve to have your religion respected.
If there's a hell, you're going to it.
Just saying, if you're not going to do, like, I feel like it's always the old saying of, like, do, like, you know, be kind to your neighbors, or, like, you know, I was always told growing up, you know, treat people how you want to be treated, which I feel like is the biggest thing almost anybody says, whether you're religious or not.
Yeah.
You know, you try to treat people with respect, and, you know, most of the time that's how you want to be treated. Or it's like a learning curve, like, you know, you're teaching kids, you're like, okay, we don't do that because we wouldn't want that done to ourselves. So this whole group that believes in it, remember, if somebody was saying these exact same things onto you, vice versa, or some sort of harmful words, just remember how you guys would feel back to it. You know what I mean? Like, it is a two-way street, and you can't get to the middle if you're putting road blockers up every 2 minutes. Nobody's going to cross that road.
Yeah.
And instead, you're just, like, you're in the minority. You're singling yourself off. Like you said, they're going to get left behind.
Yeah.
And you don't have to like what's out. And honestly, if you don't want to watch that, you can choose a different demographic. I, growing up, guess what? Wasn't allowed to watch particular things, but I was allowed to watch other things that, honestly, talking to people now, most of them wouldn't have seen Lord of the Rings at 6 years old. Not a very common thing to show a 6-year-old. But I watched it. And I remember Wizards of Waverly Place coming out and that being a super controversial thing.
Which is crazy because I loved it.
I loved it too.
I didn't know it was controversial.
Because we were Christian and we went to church, we weren't allowed magic.
The devil!
Well, and it wasn't even necessarily the
Alex
devil.
Russo.
It's just magic in general was viewed at such a negative point. Where now even a lot of Christians and probably even some Catholics are completely fine with their kids having different magical beliefs and stuff, and especially when it's young, everything is magical and everything's here. Because I'm sorry, you can't say that if you're also telling your kid fucking Santa's real. Sorry. If you're gonna lie to your kid like that, come on then.
And Santa's bisexual.
And Mrs. Claus used to be a Mr. Claus. Dun, dun, dun.
And you can't prove or disprove it because...
who's going?
That's just my belief. And as a Christian, I'm allowed... I actually don't know what I was baptized as, but...
I was baptized Catholic, I'll say this on the air, but I was raised Christian.
Interesting.
And I will prefer that till the day I die. However, I'm going to say this, and just religion, and if it keeps coming up in politics and stuff, a lot of your pastors, in my experience, have actually been also a lot more understanding to even mental health, because there are a lot of Catholics that believe mental health is corresponding with the devil.
Oh, yeah.
But guess what? The only people who ever said that to me were churchgoers or religion teachers that ever said anything to me about my mental health corresponding to God. And guess what? I went to the other pastors, and I could sit there for an hour or two, and they'd let me talk about whatever. They'd try to help me in any way they knew how. And they never claimed that God didn't love me. They never claimed those things. But yet, churchgoers and people who are hearing the word don't understand the word. That's why it's I feel like the preachers at least have a certain standing point where they understand not only what they're teaching, but also what world they're teaching it to.
Because what they should have been saying is, God loves everyone. God does love you.
Oh, sorry, if you're Catholic too, there's also the 10 fucking commandments. Everything else in the Bible, yes, we can learn lessons from, but they aren't a direct teaching or a way of life. You wouldn't sell your 12-year-old girl for a fucking pig nowadays. So don't even try to come out. Of course I would if I had power. But it's one of those things. You can't just try to attack, cherry pick teachings.
Oh, but they love to cherry pick.
That's the biggest pet peeve I have. You don't get to cherry pick, especially when they're teaching. They're not even a rule. The Bible as a whole is not your fucking rule book.
Yeah.
If you want to claim that there's any rules to different religions, it actually has to be written out in a certain way, like the 10 Commandments. Anyway, sorry. As you can tell, we can talk about different things for a long time.
I love a tangent, though.
Yes, and we should probably get into the actual theory now.
Yeah, so it is exactly what it sounds like, and their proof is just that a lot of celebrities are coming out as queer of some sort, and that they're children of celebrities, that there's, more trans children than there was 100 years ago, and it's like, well, yes, we know what it's called now.
I was gonna say, that's, similar to people saying, oh, more people have anxiety these days. It's like, no, actually, we just have a diagnosis for it.
Yeah.
And before, you used to just treat people like crap.
Yeah.
Who had
just,
those conditions.
oh, yeah, that's Jean. They're weird.
Yeah.
We don't speak to Jean. Jean's a freak. And it's like...
Jan is autistic or something. It's not that there's more now than ever. And same even with gays or transgender. There probably is more transgender today, but only not because there wasn't more people who thought about it before. It's because there's more access to it now.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna correlate somebody having access to something to an increase in the overall viewings, that's not correct.
Yeah.
Because that means that every single one of those going in there, whether this was accessible or not, would have had the ultimate same feelings either inside, or they'd go to other measures to have their outside match.
Yeah.
Or whatever their case is. You know what I mean? That's just because it's more accessible or more known, that's partly why. It's no, we don't have more transgender people. We just have people who are able to transition now, able to talk about it. That's just it. A lot of times, even if it was, somebody was trans or wanted to be a woman or whatever it was, a lot of times they still had to fight and still be the other gender because it wasn't socially acceptable.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily that there's more, it's just there's that ability to say you are.
Yeah.
And same with being gay. There's that ability. Yes, there's still some people stuck in the dark about it, but they're allowed to come out and say it. Mm-hmm. They shouldn't be scared, because guess what? If their parents have a negative reaction, A, that's bad on the parents, but B, they can actually go do something about it. You're supposed to have supports for this. You're supposed to do that. And honestly, this is the weirdest thing, but with everybody talking about gay, the LGBTQ plus community, so on and so forth, it's funny because I knew I was pansexual at 12. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even have a full grasp of what pansexuality was until I was 14, and then I sort of connected it all together. And, as I got older, it didn't really change, but I understood the complexity of everything. So don't get me wrong, younger kids, I don't think understand the complexity, but they understand the basic feeling of it. Because I knew I wasn't just attracted to... I might have only been 12, but I knew it wasn't just males.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I knew that. I was interested in different things. I wanted to do different things. When I was around certain friends, different feelings came up, different thoughts came up.
And if society is telling you that's not normal... That's freak, you should only like men.
Yeah.
Then it's okay, well, maybe I shouldn't have these feelings. What's wrong? What's wrong with me? That kind of stuff. And
that's why lavender marriages were a thing.
Yeah.
And that's partly why I don't believe in the whole it's gotten more. There was hundreds, and I mean hundreds, of wives who got married to their friends knowingly that they were gay.
Yeah.
And that they would just each have other, sort of times for those sort of needs.
Yeah.
Otherwise, but for the most part, they would marry their quote-unquote best friend
Yeah.
But they knew it wasn't going to be the romantic love. It was going to be platonic
acceptable, and it benefits both parties.
Yeah.
I'm like, sure. I don't see the problem with that.
Right?
Like, go ahead, do it.
But it's also like they had to do that because, also too, as a woman, not only, being gay is harder. Obviously being gay no matter what is harder, but being a woman, you also were expected to be married and have this sort of stature. And I know men do as well, like with their job, making a certain income, blah, blah, blah. But like, if you didn't have a husband by like your early 20s or whatever, you were seen already as like pretty much damaged goods, or nobody was gonna find you attractive anymore because that was it. And it's like,
the old croon.
I don't know. I think it makes me sad that there's so many people out there saying that it's more common, and it's like, or do people just feel safe enough to say
and God
something?
forbid, let people feel safe.
Right, like, people don't feel safe on the fucking streets. Let them say their sexuality in safety.
I wanted to also bring up Disney and gayness. Because there is a supposed gay agenda in Disney.
Oh, I hope so.
In Disney movies and stuff, TV shows, and a Disney executive producer even admitted to wanting to add queerness wherever she could to promote representation. She would always add in her pitches to Disney little LGBTQ plus friendly like Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Because
they wouldn't allow it.
Yeah, because Disney is still quite strict, but they're still like, yes, you may have a nugget that suggests that maybe this character's parents are gay. Yeah. Yes, you may suggest that this is this, and she's Disney, proud of that, and I'm like, you know what, good.
Disney has been doing that for a little while now, like ever since the early 2000s, they've been throwing the tidbits in, and honestly, yeah, I think she should be proud of herself.
It warms my heart, like,
because here's the reality. Not every business and company is going to follow directly in line with the progression of our society. And honestly, it takes people like that. And yes, it's only Timbits. Yes, it's not a full-blown,
but it's baby
quality
steps.
time. But that's exactly it. You have to take the wins when you get them. Because in reality, it can only get better wins. You know what I mean? Like, once you start getting those little yeses, you're going to start getting those medium yeses. And then eventually that's going to turn into almost a whole movie about it. And then eventually it hopefully will be an entire movie.
Yeah.
But you can't get there if you're not pushing for it. You're not getting those little things in and actually helping them see that it's a good thing. Because I hope Disney has a gay agenda.
Yeah.
To be honest, and not in the sense of I want everything they put out to be gay.
Yeah. That's not what we're saying.
I'm pansexual. Give me a bit of everything, honey. But also love just the family stuff, like Lilo and Stitch. Maybe yes. Family girly.
I don't remember who it is, but in the live action of the Beauty and the Beast, wasn't it like the candelabra guy?
Lumiere.
Lumiere and like the clock. Weren't they like
Cogsworth or something?
Yeah, didn't they kiss or something in this movie?
Did they?
I don't think they kissed. I think they insinuated they were about to, and then it like cut.
Okay, I actually didn't know that. That's so cute.
But people were mad at it, and it's like, why?
What?
Does it affect you?
No, literally,
personally?
my first reaction. That's so cute.
Literally, it's cute, and it makes a little side story.
I support them together so hard,
right?
Like when you go back to the Disney animated films, and sometimes, obviously, it's sad that they don't highlight these specific areas.
Yeah.
But almost everybody could assume that.
Yeah.
They're the two main ones running the house. Mrs. Potts is older, has zero interest in guys. We know this just based on her motherly figure. She probably could get wooed over by a big teapot, but we're not going to bring that up.
Yeah.
But it's like she's not into these Miss May. Mm-hmm. And like I know Lumiere and like the brush or whatever was like supposed to insinuate. But no, Lumiere and Cogsworth 100% from watching the animations, I could see them being a couple.
Yeah.
I could see that
They've got that chemistry.
They do. They could easily be a couple. What's so wrong about that?
The last one I'll bring up about Disney is that Frozen, apparently, was all about the gay agenda.
Oh, stop.
You're
kidding.
Because the song Let It Go insinuates that it's a correlation to coming out.
Okay, y'all
Because
can't
you
even
need to
say that
be who
because
you
you guys
are.
made fucking Frozen one of the biggest Disney movies in the early 2000s fucking like crazy. There was tons of other amazing movies. Brave is one of them. Sorry. I like
Brave.
it, especially with my Scottish background. I appreciate it. And that was also a loving movie. Guess what? She was a badass bitch and she had to help her fucking family and she did it. Wow. That's almost like a progression story based, but yet hasn't gotten anywhere near the amount of publication or, appreciation it deserves. No! Because y'all chose Frozen because they were a white blonde bitch and that was what you wanted to show your kid. So you can't be sitting there complaining about what songs go on when you're making those choices from the beginning.
You want to hear this quote? The words to the song Let It Go are clearly not, and I'm quoting this by the way, clearly not Christian valued friendly. This is not an innocent song. It is rebellious. It mocks moral absolutes. It is careless. It is unaccountable. It is anti-obedience. It is regardless. It is selfish.
Okay, wait. Sorry. I don't mean to interrupt your reading.
No, that's it.
Right there. Okay. I was going to say right there. It is not about the song. They had to make a different reason for why they were upset about it because they always want control. What they didn't like from this song, by the sounds of it, was the fact that then their kid learned, oh, I should have boundaries.
It's okay to be myself.
Yeah, it's okay to have my own feelings.
It's okay to be free.
I shouldn't be punished for being able to feel my feelings.
Yeah.
That's what it was about. And all you parents were out there like, oh my god, my kid's out of control, my kid doesn't listen to me. You guys just want to keep them on a fucking leash. And so instead you made up a ridiculous outcome saying that the song instead is for the gays.
You know what I think when I heard that song? That's a great song.
That's a dope song.
She's a really fantastic singer.
Yeah.
And wow, what a good message.
I wanted to do the big dress reveal.
Yeah.
That's what got me excited.
Like, that's all. Sometimes a song is just a song.
Also, it could just be related to, I don't know, the movie you're fucking
the whole
watching.
Point, the story, storyline.
Literally, the storyline, the movie that your eyeballs are connecting with this song. Sometimes it's just related to that. These aren't individual music artists getting their song released into these places. Yeah. These are songs made for the movie, for the story, for the beauty of the animation, of the character, of whatever. Mm-hmm. Period.
But that was just my first one. I don't know if we'll get to all of them today.
Sorry, as you can tell, I can get into an easy tangent on anything theories. And that's partly why I love theories. Like I said, obviously everybody's able to have their views and beliefs. But, that's the nice thing about theories is that it does definitely create a bit of controversy because people have different beliefs. Yeah. And they see things or see the world differently. And I think that's fun. Yeah. To then, because nobody debates. Yeah. 20, 30 years ago, you had debate in mandatory class that you had to take in high school. Another tangent. Tee.
So, I will bring up, actually, cultural Marxism first, because I feel like it ties in better than my other topic. Okay. How we were talking about, the gay agenda, the right-wing issues, that kind of stuff. I don't know too much about this topic, so we don't have to stick with it too much, but I did hear about something called cultural Marxism, and cultural Marxism is a conspiracy theory which relates to Western Marxism by Karl Marx, which is a whole political theory which I was talking to you about earlier, about how Marxism itself is like oppressed people and their oppressors, and how oppressed people need different laws and motions to help them no longer become oppressed. And so that's usually like poor people or the middle class, and then the upper class are using, taking advantage of them, that kind of stuff. Yeah. The issue with cultural Marxism, quote unquote, is that it is a far-right, anti-Semitic, so racist conspiracy theory that misrepresents regular Marxism, saying that these modern movements, these progressive politics, this political correctness, the identity issues are all a planned, and I'm quoting these, planned cultural war that is meant to undermine Christian values. And that the best way to live...
The Christians were just really love feeling offended.
Oh, yes.
They just love it. They're like, oh my God, this little thing happened. Oh my God, it's about me.
They seek, like, Christian values are supposed to be, like, the best historically, and that traditionalist conservatism is being replaced with culturally liberal values in a planned war.
Okay.
And I just want to state, first and foremost, Karl Marx, he was not a fan of Christianity. So I feel like take his name out your mouth, first and foremost. Second of all, the Christian perspective being the best for the middle class, says who? Since when? Hard disagree.
Also, like, Christianity today is very different than what it was even 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, even we talked about the churches and everything like that. Christianity is very different than what it used to be. So either A, they're going back to Old Testament. But I also want to say, even when I was listening to you talking about this subject, it has to mainly be America.
Yeah. It is.
Sorry, but North America has been shitty. But it's progressed faster.
And we can say
America.
that we're in
We're
North
Canada,
America,
so you know we can say that. But its progression has moved a lot faster than in the States.
Yeah.
And the States is like stuck. All right, but yeah, we were talking about cultural Marxism, and I believe that at least when it comes to this, like the only way out of it or the main issue from it being, because even when you go to Europe, you go to different countries, there's still, you know what I mean? You still have the higher class oppressing the lower class.
Yeah.
That happens everywhere.
There is also, like, privilege. It does have a big play in oppression and the oppressors as well. Like, privilege being money, skin color, anything like that.
I do unfortunately have to say I understand where that's coming from. I kind of agree.
The last thing I'll say about this is that there has been argument from the Christian traditional community, and the idea now is that it seems that the Christian traditional conservatives are now the oppressors in today's economy, where they are...
Okay, sorry, I had to think about that wording. I was like...
Yeah, you're good.
Right,
they are now the oppressors of other minorities.
Oh, yeah.
But that oppressing community, they're fighting back and saying, well, no, you guys are using your underprivilege. You are using that at your advantage. Therefore, you guys are the bad guys.
So they have nothing real, so they're just trying to throw back exactly what was told
Pretty
to
much,
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what people do that only when they're losing an argument.
Not me, you. No, you.
Literally. And it's...
I know you are, but what am I?
And it's also like, why do you have to ruin it for people? And I mean this, like, you know, don't mess, like, I don't know the term. There's, like, some sort of saying with that, like, don't yuck my yum or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And the same could be going for you guys. Like, anybody else who identifies as Catholic, Christian, anything like that, myself included, how embarrassing do you think it is for me to be a part of this group while half of them, or more than half, is saying all this bull crap?
Yeah.
You are upset that somebody's calling you out for something you don't like. Because nobody likes getting called out for their actions, right? Nobody likes to take accountability. And instead of them sitting there, you know, saying, you know, like, this group really was, like, in the past, really oppressive. And we were doing all these things, you know, but we want to build up as a community and, you know, not really have either or take part. Like, we don't want to be oppressing or feel oppressed.
Yeah.
You know, so what do we do to make that happen? Instead, they're being, like, butthurt about it, literally, and they're just going off and being like, well, no, I don't, like, you guys are now oppressing us, or, like, whatever, we're only oppressed or we're only oppressing because of this, or blah, 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 and it's like, those aren't real reasons, and you know it, you know what I mean? They do know it, because if they didn't know that they were doing something wrong, or spreading that sort of wrong information, they wouldn't be so upset.
Mm.
And that's just sort of like a baseline sort of psychology trick. People usually get more upset and upset quicker. So as in, like, you're going to fire a quick shot back if you're being called up for something you did.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times it's because you don't want to take accountability. You're maybe embarrassed of what happened, whatever. It's like, guess what? That doesn't fucking matter anymore. We're in a day and age where taking accountability is the only way to move forward.
Yeah.
Anyways, third tangent. Just kidding. That was like my 20th, but that's okay.
All right, so my last topic, honestly, it's barely even a conspiracy because I'm just gonna outright say that I'm debunking it. And it involves the Black Lives Matter movement.
Okay.
It involves George Floyd,
Okay.
if you remember who that is.
I do.
So, for anyone who doesn't remember, he's one of the big reasons that the Black Lives Matter movement gained so much traction. Because on May 25th in 2020, George Floyd, a 46-year-old Black American man, was murdered in Minneapolis by a white male police officer.
This is a side note, but do we know what happened to the police officer? Because I don't remember hearing about his
fired.
conviction. That's it?
I believe...
I was going to say, I never remember hearing about convictions or anything against him.
Yes. So, I don't know how to say his last name, but the police officer who essentially did the killing was convicted of unintentional second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter on June 25th. He was sentenced to 22 and a half years in prison.
Alright. Just curious.
The other officers that were involved faced federal civil charges.
None of them got time?
I don't think so.
Wow.
Well, they got, one of them, I think, got charged for aiding and abetting.
Well, and you want to know partly why, especially in the States. I mean, they also have a high crime rate and a high conviction rate. I think it's like top 3 for conviction rates or something.
Oh, yeah.
Worldwide.
If not top, like, first.
Top 5 at least. Whatever. Anyways, I don't know. They also let out prisoners because they have too many in.
Yeah.
And that's also partly why some of the sentencing is not done justice, because, like, even kidnappers will get less time than the amount of time that they kidnapped.
Anyway.
Sorry, that was a random tangent. I lost my train of thought. It's okay.
It's okay. George Floyd.
Right.
The issue at hand was that the police officer was using, like, way too much force when arresting this man. And there's, like, video proof
I
of
was going
it.
to say, I did watch the video.
Yeah.
And he was.
Yes.
Yes.
And George Floyd was very anxious, and he was saying to the officer, like, I'm very claustrophobic, I am very nervous right now, please don't kill me, all of these different things. Meanwhile, the officer knelt on his neck. He used his knee.
Again, mental health training.
To
people
restrain him.
Our officers that are quote-unquote here to protect us don't even know how to deal with a simple panic attack.
Yeah.
Which is chances are what was happening.
Yeah.
Whatever county that was done in, that whole county where those deputies or those cops are from, that whole department should be under reprimand. When you really go down the chain of events, yes, it's them as an individual, but also who hired them?
Yeah.
Who's letting them get away with this when they have cams on their bodies?
Yeah.
It's obvious.
This is one that was recorded and thankfully went viral.
Thankfully.
But unfortunately, the officer decided instead to ignore George Floyd and held his knee on his neck.
Choked him out to death.
For over 9 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he killed him.
Yeah.
He stopped breathing, and a different person, not even this officer, checked George Floyd's pulse and was like, he has no pulse. Like, he's dead. And that's when the guy finally stood up.
Yeah.
And so the conspiracy with this is that George Floyd and this police officer, essentially, are crisis actors. And what a crisis actor is a person who takes part in a conspiracy to manipulate public opinion by pretending to be a victim of an event such as a bombing, a mass shooting, or a natural disaster.
How is this a theory when a man literally died?
So the theory is that he's not dead.
They think George Floyd is alive.
They think he was an actor who was paid to perpetuate...
Oh, these are guaranteed white people coming up with this. They're just upset that people are calling them out. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't want to be a part of the white or, not that I don't want to be a part of it. Not that. Not that I want to be clumped together with every other white person.
Yeah.
Just like anybody from any ethnic group hates being clumped together as a whole.
Yeah.
However, the reality is most of our cops are white. And most of the corrupt ones are white. Sorry, that's just like literally a statistic.
Yeah.
Y'all could just own up to it, and that's why there are still some good cops. But you never know.
Yeah. But, yeah, the theory, I hate it. I think it's dumb. It's that he's an actor and that he was... George Floyd was seen at his own funeral. It was just a black man at the funeral that had a similarity to him. That was wearing a hooded sweater.
Oh, my God. At his own funeral, where his family would be attending, he may look sort of similar to another member. Oh my God, wow, mind blown. I've never heard of that concept. Fucking idiots.
But, you know, I'm assuming this was probably when Black Lives Matter, this movement was at its peak. I'm assuming that maybe white nationalists or supremacists were like, well, this is all a conspiracy. Like, they just want to take us out of power, and this is why. They also... To debunk this further, there was 2 autopsies done on George Floyd's body. So he is very much dead.
I was going to say, yeah, there's...
I believe it was 2 autopsies plus something else. Quite positive he's dead.
Also, like, how horrible for the family already to have their witnessed the death, chances are.
Yeah.
But not only that, have a whole group of people come up and be like, no, he's actually not dead. He's just somewhere in hiding because they wanted to promote this. No. No.
Yeah.
That's not a thing. It's the same thing when people are like, oh, Michael Jackson's still alive with this person. They're dead. I'm sorry, sweetie. They're dead.
Pretty sure. Like...
They're dead. And it's...
Occam's razor.
And it's just like, I understand maybe the thought process of also wanting people to get more mad at cops. You know what I mean? Especially to that sort of... discrimination goes directly against the job the job.
Yeah.
Right? But it's like that wouldn't be the case because then he wouldn't be dead. Because there's nobody who's in the force, or at least I'd hope there wouldn't be, other than people who are corrupt like that, who would genuinely be willing to go to those extents or make a video of that extent.
Yeah.
For people to realize that's not...
And, like, there was a trial, people went to jail, like, there was all these legal proceedings. I'm pretty sure this isn't a hoax. Like, there's too much that went into it, politically, emotionally, time, money.
And also, if this, like I said, why is the money that goes towards our, like, just across North America, whatever, or more so America, but that goes into the police and that sort of side because they get government funding and different stuff like that. It's like, why is the funding not towards better training and different quality training? Because that's why they literally have people who, yes, you need more training, yes, you need to be more worked, which makes sense, but who are literally negotiators. They get trained on how to deal with people in high stress situations, and it's like, you don't think the cops who are just going out and answering a call or about whatever, just doing diddly squat, doesn't need those skills? That they're not going to run into somebody who's on drugs, who's mentally unstable, who's whatever.
Yeah.
They are. Right? Like, there was no reason that, in this case, that Floyd couldn't have sat on the curb.
Yeah.
And
Literally
the police
let
officer
him
couldn't
breathe.
have been there. Standing
He was
next
already
to him.
handcuffed, so
That's
it's
what
like...
I mean. He was already handcuffed. He could have been sat on the curb, period.
Yeah.
End of story.
Every person of color, like
that's...
was affected by this in some capacity.
Yeah, of course. Like, they all had a different feelings about the video and, you know, seeing it happen and see this sort of discrimination, which we do talk about and we sort of know about, but this was done on a very different scale.
Yeah.
And it was publicized.
Yeah.
And I think it's very sad that people want to sit there and guarantee white people that are like, oh, no, it's fake. There's no way they would do that. It's like, they did actually
Yeah.
already do it. and now you're just throwing shit on everybody who was hurt from this situation. Good job.
To add to that, and this is like the final thing that I'll mention about it, which is like the nail in the coffin to me.
Okay.
The same group online that is perpetuating this crisis actor theory are also people who believe that the Sandy Hook school shooting was fake and that 9/11 was fake and that the victims are still alive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. I'm sorry, if you ever think a school shooting is fake, fuck you. You have no idea what those traumatized children that ended up making it out fucking feel. Don't ever put down that experience.
Which is why I'm like, okay, so that kind of invalidates you completely. Like, if that's how you think, we have nothing in common.
Yeah.
Whatever you say is going to mean nothing to me. So, yeah, I just figured.
Yeah, sorry, I actually think about people's traumas.
Yeah, my bad.
And I'm not trying to put them completely down in the dirt because I'm slightly offended at an overall group. No, honey. No.
Sorry.
We don't do that. But yeah. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Thank you for being here.
I'm glad. I would have happily... I've talked to Americans before even about... This is very controversial. This one's not a theory, though.
Uh-oh.
Is abortion. But I have had talks, and I'm friends with people who have very different views on it. And you know what? We just conversate about it. And we sort of try to see each other's perspective, but that doesn't mean we always agree. Just because we can understand where they're coming from, it doesn't mean we feel the same.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly the same with this. Just because you guys may feel the same or may not feel the same, it doesn't mean you can't have these discussions or can't talk about it. It's just, it's controversial.
Yeah.
And that's just sometimes, that means people don't know how to talk about it because they consider it, you know, an attack on them. And it's not. It's not an attack on you. You don't need to take it personally. Now, if you're one of those cops, you should take it personally. Just saying.
But
I'm holding it against you personally.
Yeah. Do you have any final statements before we wrap things up?
I don't think so. I really need to pee, so I'm...
Oh, girl, go pee then. I'll do the outro.
Okay, well, thank you for having me on your podcast.
Yeah, we love having you here, Abby.
I'm gonna, show me out, whatever. I'm gonna go pee.
Abby's making her grand exit. And that's it for us this week on Creeps and Coffee. Comment your thoughts, feelings, and opinions below if you'd like to have a discussion. Besides that, follow us on Instagram at creepsandcoffee with an N. We're always up for a discussion in the DMs as well. Make sure to follow us on X or Twitter at creepsandcoffee, or you can send us a message in our email, which is creepsandcoffee@gmail.com. And if you want to follow our Patreon, we release exclusive episodes there every month, as well as you'll get a shout out on our regular episodes like this one. So our Patreon is just patreon.com/creepsandcoffee. So patreon.com/creepsandcoffee. I think that's the first time I've ever spelled that for you guys. And yeah, have a good rest of your day, and thanks for getting weird and political with us. Bye!
Creeps and Coffee is produced and edited by us, Kate and Jane.
Our theme music is Stuck in a Hole by Dated.
For more information on where to find them, check out the link in our show notes. And to connect with us, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Creeps and Coffee.